Hello everyone, so today we're going to do intention to create legal relations, also known as ICLR. Again, I'll do these short videos, and then what I'll do is I'll collocate them and just make a longer video so it's easier when you're revising. You don't have to click on each one because that's quite time consuming. Obviously, a lot of you guys are going to be doing last minute revisions. The time is of the essence, you know. So getting into it, an ICLR refers to the intention to create an agreement or make an agreement on which the law will recognize by establishing an intention to create legal relations. This is presumed in a business contract, but is not presumed to exist in social or domestic agreements. So, for example, in McGowan v. Radio Buxton, this rules that the presumption is in favor of the ICLR. So, McGowan answered a quiz question, and she was told she won a Renault Clio. So, in this case, when she went to collect it, she was presented with a 4-inch model of the car. However, the courts ordered the radio to pay £8,000 for the real vehicle. Commercial agreements can be a rebuttal to this, so a rebuttal to the presumption of an ICLR. The presumption that there is an ICLR in commercial agreements can be rebutted, and that such is only binding in honour, or is binding in honour only. So you can use Jones v Vernon's Pools or Appleson v Littlewood's Pools. In this case, the courts refused to deal with the claims, and the coupon stated it is only binding in honour only. So what I would do here is, because the note taking here, my notes are kind of more vague, to familiarize yourself with the case and to gain a higher and more advanced understanding of legal knowledge, legal decisions, and the thought processes of the judges and their obiter dictas and whatnot. What I'll do is I'll search these cases. If you just go on lawteacher.net, you search these cases, you can find them. So an intention to create legal relations, so whether it is subject to contract or not, is tackled in Chillingsworth v Esch in 1924. So E agreed to purchase land subject to a proper contract to be prepared by the vendor solicitors. In this case, E decided not to proceed with the sale, and C sued. There was no contract. Whether it is a business or domestic agreement, there can be rare situations where it falls into a middle ground, and this can change, or it changes which party has the burden of rebutting the presumption of an ICLR. So, for example, in Sadler v Reynolds, the agreement was between a journalist and a businessman who were friends, and it was whether the journalist is able to ghostwrite the businessman's autobiography. The burden fell to the journalist to prove that there was an ICLR and that it was a business arrangement. So, social and domestic agreements. This generally, the presumption is against an ICLR seen in Bolfer v Bolfer. So H worked overseas in Sri Lanka. The wife had to return to England, and H agreed to pay £30 each month. They became estranged, and the wife sued to enforce the promise of financial support. There was no ICLR as the domestic arrangement was within a marriage and such had failed, which means that so the intention to create, it was an intention to just pay out of love, out of their domestic circumstance. It wasn't to establish a legal relationship between him paying. So it would be different, for example, if he had signed a contract, it would be different. But that's what's being tackled here. If the agreement is verbal, then if there was an intention to create legal relations, so if it had something to do with rent, maybe paying rent, then there's more of an inclination there. So the rebuttal to this, Merit v Merit, H and W had already split up, but H agreed to pay W £40 per month. She would pay mortgage. When the mortgage paid, H transferred the house to W. H refused to transfer the house. However, the ICLR was found mostly because the couple was already apart when the agreement was signed, but also because paid £40 per month and she would pay mortgage. They're more likely to find an ICLR where there's an exchange of money. So families make agreements that appear to be business arrangements because of the nature of what they're doing. The court must examine the real purpose of the agreement. Did there seem to be legal intent? For instance, in Jones v Padavaton, the mother agreed to let her daughter stay in the house while taking the bar exam and then tried to evict her. The family relationship was close at the time, suggesting that there was no ICLR. However, a rebuttal to this is shown in Simpkins v Pays. If money has changed hands, it is likely to be seen as a business arrangement and therefore legally binding. So P, her granddaughter, and her lodger S each contributed a 1/3 stake to a weekly competition in a newspaper. Each took turns to enter, paying the fee and completing the form. P had entered the competition and she won £750 but refused to share the prize. However, an ICLR was implied by conduct, meaning each was entitled to share 1/3 share of the prize because they shared a 1/3 stake. So that's the end of intention to create legal relations. I'll do consideration and then I'll upload it as a separate video. I might start combining, I might start doing 2 topics together, something like that. But consideration is a little bit longer, so that deserves a standalone video, I think. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.